Hi guys, welcome to Parawomenradio. I'm Amy. I was tasked by some of my viewers with investigating another one of Gypsy's victims, Nick Godejohn's mother, Stephanie Goldammer. Stephanie did not mince words when expressing her feelings about the gypster. In fact, she referred to her as a literal monster. While there is limited information available about Nick's mother, we managed to uncover some shocking details that will both surprise you and pay homage to her on this episode of Parawomenradio. Stay tuned for a revealing and captivating exploration into the lives of those affected by this tragic story and Gypsy Rose Blanchard. I'm going to roll some credits while we wait for the rest of the GRB crew to roll in. Special shout out to my Power Replay crew. Now, I want to know, have you chosen your Halloween costume yet? I haven't.
Angel flew down to a tiny house on the edge of hell. Ain't no garage or a swimming pool, just a sad old friend.
Are you ready to talk about Nick Godejohn's mother? Ugh, I'm gonna be honest, there's not a whole lot out there about Stephanie, but we did find some stuff, and we're just gonna go for it. Be sure to give this live a thumbs up. I like to do the algorithm dance party where we dance up to the hearts and thumbs up button, and we just press it like there's no tomorrow, so I can dance out into the algorithm. Actually, over on, interesting enough, over on YouTube, only press it once, because if you press it twice, well, actually press it in negative. So if you press it once, just leave it. If you press it twice, then you got to press it another time so that you do it 3 times. If you press it 4 times, then you got to do it 5 times. Keep it on a odd number, because then you will have pressed it, because what you're really doing is pressing and unpressing it. So we're coming to you today on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Hi guys. All right, so let me get my screen together for you guys. Actually, I'm going to start it out with, I did create a little tribute to Stephanie. And I couldn't decide on the song, so I'm going to do one song with the opening and another song with the closing, but it's the same video. And you guys can tell me which song goes better with it. Okay, so this is just a little tribute that I did for Stephanie.
I'm having bad thought after bad thought after bad thought today. Everything is falling down on top of me. I wanna lie here on this cold hard ground and cry for a while. And I really don't care who sees me at this point in time. It's been a bad day. How I wish that I could just cry myself away. It's been a bad day. How I wish that I could sprout wings and fly away, away, away.
So nice to meet you. Nick painted such a wonderful picture of Stan.
You got yourself a chirpy one, Nick.
Rain starts to fall and it stays for a while, but then the clouds roll away. The sun creeps around and it paints an awful glow on this place. It's not what I want, no, not right now. I just wanna be great. Wanna lie here in the grass and feel the rain on my face. It's been a bad, bad day. How I wish that I could just cry myself away. It's been a bad.
Okay. I saw someone say, why are we celebrating this woman? Well, we're celebrating this woman because she was blindsided and she basically did cry herself away. She's no longer with us, Nick's mother. And some say she died of a broken heart. And I'm not one to say how she was as a mother when Nick was outside of prison, but I do know that him going to prison was a catalyst to her going to her grave. And to me, that's another one of Gypsy Rose's victims. Okay, so here we have a page, an ancestry for Stephanie A. Goldammer. She was born on 1969 and she passed away in 2021. Stephanie A. Goldammer, age 52, of Big Bend, Wisconsin, passed away on June 13th, 2021. Stephanie is survived by her loving husband, Charles Goldammer, of 13 years, her children, Nicholas Godejohn and Quinn Goldammer, her parents, Paul, Bonnie Curry, and the late Dottie Foley, her mother-in-law, James Goldammer, her siblings, Mike, Belinda Curry, and all of those. The services were held at the Big Bend Lions Club on Friday, June 25th at 1 p.m. She passed away of an overdose. Looking for stories on his mother was few and far, but here I found in Women's Health the real story of Nicholas Godejohn's parents from Hulu. The Act is pretty much spot on. Their characters were based on their real life police interviews, although I don't know how spot on it could be because The Act was pretty not spot on. It was, even though Gypsy didn't like it, it was driven by the Gypsy narrative. So they did throw in a little like things here and there, but I mean, in the end, they did Gypsy more of a service than a disservice, I would say. By now, you're probably thoroughly obsessed with The Act and new Hulu series based on the real life of Gypsy Rose Blanchard, who helped plan the murder of her mother, Dee Dee Blanchard, with her boyfriend, Nicholas Godejohn. Let's see, in the latest episode of The Act. Also, we don't read everything in its entirety, or we often don't read everything in its entirety or watch everything in its entirety, or I stop and start things, or I speed it up. I do this for fair play use, but I will put everything that we view during this live in the description. And you can just go and click the links if you want to watch it in its entirety or read it or however you want to do it. In the latest episode of The Act, Gypsy and Nick Godejohn have did something. They unalived Dee Dee and escaped to Wisconsin from Missouri to stay with Godejohn's mom, Stephanie Goldammer. And I hope I'm saying that right, Goldammer. And his father, Charles Goldammer. Here's everything you need to know about the characters of Nick Godejohn's parents are based on their real police interviews and interviews that they did with press at the time. It seems like Nick's parents were pretty out of the loop about the whole situation with their son and Gypsy. All I know is the SWAT team came this morning, took my wife and I out of here. Something with my stepson. Supposedly he did something in Missouri, which we don't believe because he wouldn't hurt a fly, Charles told ABC 12 at the time. Nick's parents knew that Gypsy, who was usually seen in a wheelchair, could walk. In fact, there's nothing wrong with her. She's okay. She walks and talks and does everything fine. I don't really know anything about her except Nick and her were talking to each other online. It's his girlfriend, and he went down there to get her and brought her back up. That's about all I know. Stephanie's police interviews in The Act were based off of her real ones, and they were pretty much verbatim what she said in the police tapes shown in the HBO documentary Mommy, Dead and Dearest. You know, it was weird because when I picked them up from the bus station, I even asked her, "How's your mom doing?" I was told she was in a homeless shelter. Her mom kicked her out, Stephanie said. So I asked her how her mom was doing. That might have been the first thing I asked her. No big deal. They acted like nothing. But when investigators filled Stephanie in about what really went down, including the fact that Gypsy and Nick had mailed the murder weapon to her house, she freaked out. "Are you serious? Oh my God," she repeated. Um, just the just the way the girl acted. I mean, how do you do something to your mother and lose your mother and just act like that? I'm just trying to wrap my head around it. And Charles was totally in the dark too, according to police interviews. I found this from the US Sun, jailed for life, who are Nicholas Godejohn's parents. Nicholas Godejohn was found guilty of his first degree unaliving of Claudine Dee Dee Blanchard. I'm going to skip forward. We already know who Nick Godejohn is. Who is Nicholas Godejohn's mom? The convicted killer's mother, Stephanie Godejohn, was shocked when she learned of her son and Gypsy's plot. The couple fled to Wisconsin from Missouri to stay with Godejohn's mom and his stepfather, Charles Goldammer. When questioned by investigators following the brutal murder of Dee Dee, Stephanie said she didn't suspect the two of any criminal behavior. You know, it was weird because when I picked them up from the bus station, I even asked her, "How's your mom doing?" I was told she was in a homeless shelter. Her mom kicked her out, so I asked her how her mom was doing. That might have been the first thing. So they're quoting a lot again in her interview. It's very hard to find anything on Stephanie. If you were one of Stephanie's friends, or if you like knew the Goldammers, or have any info on Stephanie, I would like to do another one on her, but it's very limited. Stephanie then revealed her shock when investigators told her what had happened, including the fact that Gypsy and Nick had mailed the weapon to her house. And then it just goes on to talk about who the dad is. And then there's another one from dystrophy. I don't know. Dystrophy. The parents were blindsided. Again, it talks about the case and what happened. According to People, they briefly stayed at a hotel in Springfield before boarding a bus to Big Bend, Wisconsin, where Godejohn lived with his mother and stepfather. What happened to his parents after Godejohn was arrested? Police spoke with his mother, Stephanie Goldammer, for obvious reasons. She was shocked by what they had told her, including the fact that a package had been mailed. Goldammer went on to reveal that because Godejohn had been diagnosed with autism, they usually kept a close eye on him. She repeatedly said that Godejohn was a good kid. His mother also said that Godejohn essentially had the mind of a teenager and that would never change. That was confirmed by a defense psychologist in court who said Godejohn had an IQ of 108 or 182 of 82. Godejohn's mother then said that his father, Bob Godejohn, lived in West Allis, Wisconsin. Not much was said about Bob apart from the fact that Goldammer didn't believe Godejohn would have told his father anything about what happened. The last thing that Goldammer said to the officer interrogating her was, tell him we love him. Unfortunately, she passed away June 13th, 2021. Her obituary mentions her husband as well as Godejohn. I thought this was a special photo of Nick and his parents, and I bet you they were pretty happy that they got Nick to that moment of graduation. Because I know for a lot of special needs parents, they dream of it, but it seems like such a faraway dream that they dare not to, I just think that they were probably pretty proud of Nick and themselves on that day. And yeah. Let me pop over to chat and see what you guys are saying. And we can continue on. I've got some more stuff that I found on her. And like I said, there's not a lot. Over on Reddit, I found a little thread about her. Not a whole lot of stuff, just people talking about their own parents. But I drink a lot of coffee said that was one heartbroken woman. I think the detective felt sorry for her. It's really sad. A lot of people don't know you can literally die from a broken heart. My Nana passed away at an early age after after her mother and brother passed. And people can die. Animals can die from a broken heart. You hear a lot about people, married people who have been together for years and years and years. And didn't it happen with Johnny and June Cash? Didn't June pass away and then like not too many months later Johnny did? It just happens a lot. And yeah, I think the mother didn't know how to handle this kind of pain. And you know what? I would be so mad at Gypsy Rose for doing that to my son because she knew something was up. Just in those emails that she sent to Gypsy when Nick was going there, and she's like, no, Miss Stephanie, he's good, I promise. Ugh. Okay, so you really have to scroll through this. Like I said, a lot of people talking about their own happenings within their family. This person says Joey King portrayed Gypsy in the act. Oh, did you guys know that I met Juliette Lewis? I worked on Drew Barrymore's movie Whip It, and she was a roller derby. She was Drew Barrymore's, like nemesis in the movie, and Juliette Lewis would, before, because she was the evil one in the movie, and before she would do a scene, she would pump herself up by like she would pump her fist up and down, and like she would scream and shake her head, and she would also hit her head a little bit. She would like smack herself in the head. I don't know if she did it because it was a derby type thing, and like they were supposed to be doing derby stuff, like slamming each other, but yeah, that's how she prepped for her derby scenes. But she was really nice. Okay, so keeping on, Drew Barrymore was very nice. My favorite was the guy, he has his own talk show now. I can't think of his, Jimmy Kimmel. No, not Jimmy Kimmel. The other guy. His name escapes me, but he's younger than Jimmy Kimmel. And he has his own talk show now. He would come over and actually hang out with us because we were all around this big rink, and he would come and hang out with us and talk and joke around. And he was the most friendly, would talk the most with all of us. It's going to drive me. Oh, Fallon. Yeah. Fallon. We've got a lot of people that are coming over that we've met from What a Bug. And I'm really happy that our channels, all of our channels lately have been cross-pollinating with each other, because I love creator unity. I love it. Getting along makes me happy. People being happy makes me happy. I think that's why I went into social work. But yeah, so there's not a whole lot here. The people who analyzed both Gypsy and Nick said that under normal circumstances, Gypsy would never have been a violent person and never would have unalived anyone. On the other hand, Nick was this is somebody from Gypsy's camp, was a KILLER waiting to happen, and eventually would have, regardless of meeting Gypsy. I don't understand why people think he was some naive, innocent, little fragile flower who was manipulated. He was not. And then I Drink a Lot of Coffee says, okay, please link your source. And then Historical Aid says, yes, I'd like to see that source as well. I would like to see it as well, too. There is no way anyone could make that statement accurately. No one knows what she would have been, what she had done, had she not had the life she had. There are far too many variables to even make a statement like that. No therapist that wasn't being paid a lot of money would make that statement, because the only reason they would make that statement was they were getting paid to make that statement. She loved her son, and you can tell she was completely shocked about what happened, but admitted he has a dark side. She tried to get help for him. I mean, his dark side was that he went to McDonald's and masturbated. That was Nick's dark side. What was Gypsy's dark side? Well, we know she entered, and all right, BDSM, you guys, that's do what, if you're into BDSM, I am not judging you in no way, form, but she was the one that introduced them to BDSM. She was the one that shaped and molded him for 2 years. And this person says, I do feel bad for his mom. Same, from the very little I saw, she came across as a really caring person. It is not always the parents' fault when the kids have major issues like that. I heard her speak and I was like, how does a kind mom like that raise a child who will grow up to do something like that? I'm sure there was abuse in the family too. I mean, what family doesn't? Like, I hate to say that. Like, I've never met a family that doesn't. I'm sure you're out there and I would love to meet you. And yeah, but everybody has at least one person in their family that's doing something that's struggling. And this person says, slightly unrelated, but if you look into the Columbine case, Susan Klebold is far from, oh, I've heard this, that she's far from innocent. Oh, yeah, she goes around and does, I'm sorry, I missed this part, but she goes around and does TED Talks. I don't know anything about her though. And then this person says, because I think she's a poor example of an unsuspecting parent of a murderer. Her son wasn't a disabled adult. Oh, we're talking about this is Columbine. Her son was desperate to find a peer, friend, girlfriend. Unfortunately, he met a psychopath instead of a kind, caring person. I mean, he was over on Christian Singles trying to at least, I don't know. Do not forget that without Gypsy, there would be no crime, and no one can say it was bound to happen. That logic is faulty. He would have done it without Gypsy. Of course, this person's got a double down. He said so himself, and he's honest. AJ Sneak says, true. However, he never did anything violent to another person until he met Gypsy and fell in love with her. He was a schizophrenic and created different characters, which I don't even know if he created them. I have a feeling she created them. Anyway, he played the role she needed him to play. He felt that Dee Dee was evil and Gypsy needed saving from her. He literally, till this day, says he still loves and cares about her. I'm going to be honest, too. I haven't really dug into Nick too much yet. So I'm just kind of swinging over into Nick's family now. The minute they got caught, Gypsy threw his ass under the bus to save herself. Gypsy had zero history of mental illness and literally created the entire plan and used Nicholas to execute it because she didn't want the blood on her hands. Nicholas was weird, awkward, and mentally unwell, but he never did anything. Gosh, I love Reddit. He never did anything to another human being until he met Gypsy. His mother even said so in her interview, that he was never violent. Have also been other family members who echoed the same thing. I don't care what another says. Gypsy should still be locked up. She's dangerous and calculating, just like her mother. Amen to that. I believe wholeheartedly that she should be locked up because she's scary, dangerous. Like, I don't know. I fear for her family that she lives with. I really do. Let me check my phone. I hear it going off. I want to just make sure everything's okay. The membership link isn't showing up, you guys. We have over on YouTube, we have a Fly membership. It's called our the Power Dragonflies. And let me see. Oh, I see it right down here. I think you click the $ button. But I don't know. You guys are on your phone, so that might be a little different than being on a laptop. But Are you guys subscribed? We have gotten over 600 new subscribers this month, so welcome to everybody. And check to see if you're subscribed, and if you're not, be sure to subscribe. Just click, and if you don't like it, you can click again. It's that easy. But I think you're gonna like it. I have Mandolin Bay. I have a green cheek conure, but he's yellow, a yellow tipped or yellow sided or something, yellow winged, something like that. He's got a little special something to him, but yeah, he's a green cheek naughty parrot conure. He's naughty, but I love him too. So, oof. Is it Licia? Licia? If it is, if I'm saying it, or is it Licia? Welcome. Licia became a member, a dragonfly. Somehow I unstarted though. I'm sorry, Licia. I meant to pop that up. Okay, so this person says, don't get me wrong, Nicholas is dangerous too for multiple reasons, but at least he's still where he needs to be. Yeah, I think I'm not going to sign anything to ask him, the governor, to release him. If I can't be assured that he's going to be put into some type of mental institution, or I don't know if they have special institutions where for like a unit for mentally ill people. I'm not signing anything. I shared that, and I will share it again, but I just can't sign anything to that says I want him out, because I don't want her out. Why would I sign anything to get him out? Because he has said, whether it was for whether he did it 4 times to an alive deity or 4 times to a unalive deity, he still says he did it 4 times. So Gypsy was a severely traumatized person who was desperate. Yeah, all right. Somebody's still trying to do that narrative. She may not have been formally diagnosed with mental illness at that point, but I would not be at all surprised. I'm sure she's been diagnosed with more stuff, and the girl doesn't want to do treatment. No one is discounting that her situation was traumatizing and she wanted out, but there's no denying that she took advantage and manipulated another individual who she knew could easily be manipulated through sex or I love yous to get what she wanted. She is free to talk or walk around and make large amounts of money, which she shouldn't be doing, off of her mother. Hey, by the way, I have seen 2 reports now in the last few days that she's being investigated, that she's going back to prison. Is this just another round of this? She's being investigated, she's going back to prison, or is there any teeth to any of what's going on? Does anyone know? It just goes on and on. This one, this Reddit, there's nothing like, I guess, if you had the patience to go through it all, read, some people do. And who is it that's coming out now with, I think Nina did research where she found some more Habitat for Humanity people over on TikTok, and she must have went through posts. Well, she's got a bigger following, so she probably, somebody found it for her. But some people, you guys that love to do the research, if you would like to do any research for me, I would be eternally grateful. And I feel horrible about the lady. I didn't know. I try to return all of my emails, although I've been really tired lately and I've been messing up on a lot of stuff. Like haven't been like I return it, but then I don't get back to it. I make appointments and then I fall asleep. Ugh. I hope it's because I'm healing. That's what I'm telling myself. Let's keep going.
It's for anybody that never got to say goodbye.
Here's just a little thing that I found over on TikTok. Not even a lot about her over on TikTok.
This song is for anybody that never got.
And it's just the pictures that I included in the beginning. Now, these pictures here were put on one of the tributes on one of the pages. It was on this We Remember Ancestry page. Down here, the friends can put in a little something about her. And this friend, actually, I could contact this friend maybe because she did it on a public forum. Stephanie Goldammer, she said that she saved me. So Nick's mom saved her. Another human being has gratitude for Nick's mom that she saved her. That's nothing to sneeze at. Here we have some pictures of Nick's mom. And I included these in the thing. And this is from Michelle Curry. Now, I don't know if this is her sister. I don't know if Curry is her maiden name. I don't know if the sister changed her name. But she says, I'll miss my little sisters, unless it's like a sister with the quotation. You know how like big sister, little sister, that kind of like some organizations do that, like the Greek organization system. I know she wasn't Greek, but well, maybe she was. I don't know. Her extremely knowledgeable opinion and discussion of first and foremost hockey, then football, baseball, and basketball. I'll miss her Halloween parties. Oh, she liked Halloween. A woman after my own heart. Steph knew how to throw a party. I'll miss sitting watching Packer games with her, going to concerts together, meeting up with her on St. Patrick's Day for a pint of Guinness, giving her a big brotherly hug, laughing and reminiscing of our past of good times and bad. I love you, Steph, with all my heart, a brotherly. Oh, Michael. So I bet you her maiden name is Curry, Stephanie Curry. I love you, Steph, with all my heart. May God reach out and bless your soul. May God guide you to the heavens where our mom. Oh, well, here we can get the maiden name right here, too. Dorothy May Folly, my son, Michael, Brandon Curry, Grandma and Grandpa Curry. So Curry is her maiden name. And there's a Foley in there too. So maybe Foley was her. I don't know. Foley or Curry. Rest in peace, little sister. Rest in peace. You will never be forgotten. No. So there's that. I also wanted, because when I was trying to do the thumb thing, I always hear Becca Scoop's voice in my head reading off that he's perfectly good, Mrs. Stephanie. So I have to play it for you guys. So Becca Scoops is one of my favorite content creators on the Gypsy Rose case. I think I want to ask Becca to come on the show. I think I'm going to too. But Becca has like 6 very concise, very good videos about 40 to 50 minutes long. I like the longer content. Like I like videos that are like 20 to 50 minutes long because like I listen to them while I'm cleaning or I'm getting ready. So I like the longer ones, or I listen to them before I go to bed. I'm trying not to do the Gypsy Rose before I go to bed, but yeah. So we're gonna listen to a little Becca Scoops. This is Cop Spill Hot Tea about Gypsy Rose Blanchard, the timeline, and then we're gonna go into the interrogation. I will come over to chat and share the link.
As Nick leaves the motel and takes a cab ride around 1:40 a.m. on June 10th to travel to the Pink House on Volunteer Way, Gypsy does an where he checks in. By 7 a.m., Nick's mom is worried sick. She senses something is not right. She messages Gypsy on Facebook. I need to know my son is okay, she writes. Gypsy has no problem lying to Nick's mom, messaging her back. He's perfectly good, Mrs. Stephanie. As Nick leaves the motel and takes a cab ride around 1:40 a.m. on June 10th to travel to the Pink House on Volunteer Way, Gypsy does an odd thing. She informs Nick he doesn't have to wear the gloves. She texts him, and you may not need to put on the gloves because we will sink it so it's never found. According to police reports, Dee Dee is gone by 3 a.m.
She says, let me in. And then his withered old face says, where have you been? Where have you been? She says, hello. Aren't you tired of this? Tired of being